in today's world, then for spiritual education for youngsters is the most important need in the society. Datri Maharishi, when he thinks about different of the simplified Kundalini Yoga, he says if we start the value of spiritual education, if we start the value of life and the value of education for health, happiness, harmony at a very young age, that is the most useful um, effort that anybody can do. We'll see a little bit of his thoughts around the need for spiritual education for youngsters. In other words, he also says what role the yoga and meditation can play in education for the students. And we will start with spiritual education first of all. Today, a lot of global issues such as personal issues amongst ourselves, in family, social and environmental issues such as civil and political wars, terrorism, global crisis, whether crude business practices or economical practices, risk clashes in the name of a religion, mankind killing other mankind or human beings. So we see that all over the world, even family, we are seeing a lot of hurting of each other, whether it's between husband and wife or in-laws or in between parents. A lot of hurting and disappointment and personal and other conflicts. This is the root cause. If we ponder root cause very carefully, the fundamental of each of these activities comes out of a personality or an individual's character. Of the individual or the group of individuals and behavior is root cause for all of the issues that we see globally. With clashes within the family or eating others for economic gains or get more greedy to gather the wealth and prosperity for the self and to of others. All that is happening by either one individual or the groups of individuals who have similar thoughts. Why human cause pain to their own kind? Because you take the animals, they are very, very helpful, at least for society. Whether you take any type of animals, it won't cause any harm and it do good to its own society. You can see whether it is penguins or whether it is lions or tiger or elephants or deers. It will live as a community and it will help each other as a community. When there is a difference between, let's say, and a deer, there's a difference only in those type of different community of animals. But if you take human beings, we only set of creatures who can cause pain to our own kind. So it's the saddest reality in the world today. And that is because we carry out the imprints of animal behavior. No one have good behaviors. There are a lot of noble souls exist in the society today. So it is not all negative, but we have to keep in mind that entire positiveness is spoiled by one or two individuals. Whether that person is in the home, or whether it is person in the neighborhood, or whether it is the person in the society or the city, even thousands of good souls, good individuals, good human beings, one or two miscreants can cause pain to the entire society. The reason is because we have the imprints of animal behavior, the act of violence is removed of another living being, the theft of somebody's body and using it for personal consumption, and taking the independence of the living being. Those activities come from the human behavior that we have inherited over the millions and millions of transformation or evolution, as called today. And additional human imprints, which are ego, power and position, and selfishness, to gain more land or wealth, or either a requirement to have a immoral sexual life. So land, wealth, and women are the three need that human being wants more and more. So because of this, there is always the imprint is enhanced by the ego and the selfishness, which are additional human imprints, which are the reasons for the six temperaments that we saw. So the results of ego and selfishness, and also the in behavior, results in the six temperaments, as Maharishi calls: greed, anger, surliness, immoral activities, ego, and vengeance. So take any problem caused by human being or groups of human beings with their ego and selfishness, that result of any one of the six different temperaments. So the importance of realizing the self, realizing not only ourself but also the fact that understanding deeply that others are also individuals like us. One should be able to mentor their temperaments and also make sure that their activities are not only harmful for themselves but also not harmful for their members of the society or the world as large. So yoga and meditation, or in other words, value of health, happiness, and harmony, which is achieved by some sort of yoga and meditation practice, can help early in the year age, will help the human being realize the greatness of his own self and reach the highest peak of their consciousness, because consciousness of God is as religion, consciousness of mind is called as science, and consciousness itself is a treasure. So basically, anything, any value education to understand one's own health, happiness, and harmony, that will result in mind achieving the highest peak of consciousness is and gain early, was will be most useful to the society. That's the most useful service to the society. So Maharishi always wished for it. This is one of his dreams, that education system, the current education system, should um, take into consideration, and the value of human life, the value of self, the value of others should be taught much more early in the in their age, before they are being sent to the society as husbands or wives, and sons, politicians, or economists, or even spiritual leaders. Before a person, a human being, is given a responsibility, because everybody carries different titles in the society and perform various roles in their day-to-day life. The only period in which they have one role is during the younger age, when they are going through the education system to be a better citizen. So during that age, introducing the value of sexuality at an age will help them perform better in their different roles that they will take later on in the society. So a little bit of yoga and why yoga and meditation is a better value education for children at a younger age. Yoga is the science to develop, is a science of life to develop the sixth sense to its fullness. It helps enable man to enjoy a very peaceful and blissful life. It's not of understanding all about the life force, realizing the relationship with the body and society and the world and the universe. Yoga is a systemic psychic practice to improve the awareness and develop the willpower and realize the self. And system, as we know, the simplified Kundalini yoga system is the type of yoga system which is Raja Yoga. A human being, this system helps the awareness that human being is a combination of the physical body, mind, and life force, and self-knowledge and systemic physical and psychic practices are essential to achieve the self-realization. To achieve that, our system is complete system introduced by Vedatri Maharishi, which is called Simplified Kundalini Yoga, which includes the combination for physical health that includes simplified physical exercises, yoga, and then soul health, introspection and brahmanyanam, and simplified Kundalini yoga for mental health. So the combination really helps achieve this knowledge, achieve the systemic physical and psychic practices that are appropriate for humankind. And all know that obviously to reap the benefits in spiritual practice, the physical body needs to be in absolute good health. There are a lot of ways people get exercises today, whether it is walking, jogging, or going to the gym. What is, we all know the benefits of physical exercises that helps prevent the diseases, improves the stamina, enhances flexibility, and improves the overall quality of life. The simplified physical exercise is that is introduced by Maharishi are so simple and practiced regularly. It is suitable for all climates and for all sections of human community. Helps oxygenize the cells of the human body, activates the endocrine glands, pure blood and regulates its circulation, regulates the whole system, and help to build very high level of immunity against diseases. So this helps in maintaining this helps in up human being. Now, moving on to the other section, the simplified after simplified physical exercise, the Kaya Kalpa Yoga. So, wonderful technique for was introduced from the Siddha South India and has helps human being achieve the threefold objectives, which is withstanding the aging process, maintaining the youthfulness and physical health, and postponing the death until one reaches the spiritual perfections. And by ongoing practice of Kaya Kalpa, the spiritual energy or the life force energy is transmuted into spiritual energy by bringing it to the chakras. And obviously, the men is the third most important component. Our own mind is the psychic extension of the life force, functioning through the brain cells and the five senses. And the mind is fixed on the life force, which is the source of source of the mind. The existence and functions of the life force cannot be perceived. So the psychic practice is concentrating the mind is called Kundalini Yoga. In this, the force needs to be raised from the Mooladhara, which is the root chakra, to the crown chakra, which is the pineal gland, and raising the Kundalini or force energy to help an individual reach a higher level of consciousness is called Kundalini Yoga, as we all know and we practice. This has obviously are various stages in the Kundalini Yoga. We start with meditating on the pituitary gland, as we did today, and then to where needed we have to be able to bring back the energy to the root chakra, and then taking it to the Dua chakra, which is the crown chakra or the Brahmarandram, and then Duryatita state, which is also called the Madhi state. In this one, the force of the as master and aspirant, based on the help of our guru and the thought force of the master, we are able to go to Duryatita state, where soul merges into the absolute state, that is Almighty. And the psychic practice to attain samadhi and leads to God realization by deliberate practice. Obviously, the mind becomes more sharp and alert and become very aware when you do meditation. And you cannot continue to waste the energy that is received through such meditation to go back to the everyday activities we've been doing through 6 temperaments. We cannot continue to be greedy, continue to be wasting our energy by getting angry or holding vengeance or having ego and things like that. So how to the extra energy energy that we got through the meditation is, but the bit of that is achieved through the introspection practices. Introspection process is a key along with meditation to achieve the self-realization. Obviously, we all know that introspection has is nothing but the inner travel. Meditation is an inner travel, and introspection helps with more deliberate practice of inner travel and also analyze various aspects of our own self and then connect those with happening surrounding us and in the larger society. The people understand the value and character of themselves by the existence of but self and their existence by the simplified Kundalini practice, which includes all of the components. So introspection obviously helps us understand the philosophy of life, analyze our thoughts, and moralize our desires, neutralize the anger, eradicate the worries, and understand the nature's cause and effect, help remove the sins and imprints, and then realize the self. Obviously, respecting the humanity, respecting the womanhood are all understood as part of the introspection. And the most helpful practice that comes out of learning this meditation is blessings. So meditation enhances the power of mind, and blessing puts that energy and mind into the good use. Action of blessings complements and amplifies the benefits of non-violence. Immediately after meditation, especially when mind is merged with the divine state and a very subtler frequency, blessings becomes much more beneficial. Sky practitioners do after meditation includes obviously self-blessing, also called auto-suggestion, and obviously spouse, children, siblings, and relatives, attend to enemies, if any, also. And also, not only stop with that, this helps extend our mind beyond our immediate access and family, and it helps. It's such a sector or such a mindset to even bless the whole world, so that every human being in the world achieves whatever benefit that we achieved as well, and includes blessing of the responsible leaders who are either in political or social or economical or spiritual leaders who are there to guide the people in the society. Also, as I said, helps understand the philosophy of life, understand what are the basic needs, what are the protections we need, and what are the virtues we need to have, and what are the 3 stages of our mind development. So needs include hunger, field climatic variations, and pressure of biological excretory forces. And human being needs 3 protections: natural disasters, enemy of other living beings, and also accidents. Which are most relevant for human beings are morality, duty, and charity, and then 3 stages of development. We start with faith, that is taught through our ancestors and through going through our own religion in which we were born. But then later on, we develop the capability to understand, ask questions, be logical, and then try to understand what is the reason for the religion and why certain moral values are taught through generations through various practices. But once we come to the spiritual, where we are able to do the inner travel using our mind on its own life energy, we are able to achieve the realization. So, meditation helps in self-realization. Introspection helps maneuvering the 6 temperaments. It's a combination. It's a perfect package. The simplified Kundalini yoga system is a perfect package where it helps improve not only the physical health, but also the mental health and the social health. And introduced by Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharishi, who introduced this very safest method of arousing and meditating on the life force, namely Kundalini yoga. And we know that born as a very small village near Chennai, India. He one of the gurus who the specialty of this guru is he normal family life like everybody else, but on a parallel path, also understood and asked questions um, about him, about what is going on in the society, and the very deliberate practice inspired having a very successful business and a very good family life. He was continuing his duty while he was continuing to do the spiritual search, and then to that it's not only him and his immediate family to be benefited, but the whole world needs this, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, country, boundaries, geographies. So he started this World Community Service Center in 1958, traveled all around the world for about 21 years across the various countries doing the of simplified Kundalini Yoga. And Maharishi's teachings and philosophy are part of a regular curriculum in several schools and colleges because he said the view of moral education should be started very, very young. And as you all know that maybe you might have known, he presented about world peace to United Nations in 1974, and the resolution was presented in August 2002. So as the learn the physical exercise from age 8 to 80. This helps bring the awareness of body, understand the nature of the body. We don't have to go outside to enjoy the nature of understand the greatness of the God. The greatness of God can be understood by even a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old just by focusing on their own body and the cells and the activities that their body is doing, just by educating them. If a food is given to them, helping them think through what happens to the food that they consume, and encouraging that type of research and inquisitive at a very early age, as early as age 5, and so teaching them physical exercises at that very early stage will be the most beneficial for the children of that age. So starting from age 8 to 80, this helps build their physical strength. And at the ripe age of 14 or 15, they can be introduced to the under Kayakalpa Yoga to enjoy the other benefits and start realizing the other benefits that the system brings. The Skype is will result for we can confirm, we can very confidently say to the youngsters that it will result in good health, peaceful mind, harmony, and content in life. And I want to be started with the problems, the need for spiritual education in the age. These are global problems, the root cause of the global problems, and the root causes, including 6 temperaments, and then how the Kundalini Yoga system can help alleviate human beings to come out of their 6 temperaments. So when individuals can start this education, so the value of starting spiritual education for students or youngsters is to know that today's youngsters makes tomorrow's society. They become mom and pops, they become responsible brothers and sisters, they become officers, they become employees, they become a spiritual leader or a political leader or administrative head. So you should understand the value of themselves and value of the other human being. And the current, as all know, the current education system helps us for our professional life to be very successful economically. The various techniques, management techniques, smartness, statistics, math, everything, which is not, but the current education system does not help play critical roles that we have, the actual critical roles that we have in our day-to-day life. The productive education system does not exist to help perform various roles and their related character requirements. That is very important. If there is a person who is writing a policy that is going to impact millions of human beings, the individual should have an appropriate role character. If you think about it, the good spiritual leaders of the science, many noble men, they are the ones who teach the value of spiritual education, but they are a very handful of individuals in the world. But the people who decide the day-to-day fit of human being is all people who have responsible leaders, and that's why our blessing includes all of them. So introducing spiritual education early will shape youngsters to be better citizens and to perform their roles. Cultural education is a must for youngsters. A factual education helps achieve this. Cultural education should include what is violence, talking about truth, straightforwardness, help them be patient, impartiality, self-control, humility, jealousy, of boastfulness, only the goodness in others, mirroring the six temperaments, and understand the principles and philosophy of life that we just discussed. All of that will also help result in individual peace, which achieve the peace at home and the society, helps him or youngsters to develop tolerance, adjustment, and sacrifice sooner, help manage expectations to avoid clashes due to differences in quantity, time, and need, and then avoid command and demand, and realize the responsibilities for the self, family, relatives, society, and world. So it helps them with realization that I need a transformation of the supreme consciousness, and not only that, because only that will develop the ego, but along with that, it helps them raise a higher level of realization, which is everybody around us are the same like me. So spiritual education help change an individual mind changes some of their immediate actions, which forms habits and just human beings' fundamental behavior to become better citizens, the human being in any role, create better progeny, and help achieve world peace through individual peace. So we have talked about a whole lot of things, but if you have to tell, key takeaways to the children would be to follow to ensure they understand the value of education for health, happiness, and harmony at a very young age, and follow the two-old moral principles, which is they not cause pain to self or others, physically or mentally, not later through thoughts, words, or deeds, and will always be ready to help others in physical and mental as much as possible. So the word for need of spiritual education for youngsters to help realize the dream of our Guru. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன். If you questions, please let me know. To discuss anything.
Valamudan, Veera, Madam, thank you so much for a wonderful 360 some life cycle of linking the whole of these and words, and it was very helpful because you helped us tie the things together in perspective. It would be a good to have junior high and high school kids one day, like a session where I think it would be nice to involve them all also. We had one years ago in Fremont here, and one weekend there were a lot of kids who participated in it, and we taught them some exercises and this. And your talk today reminds me that we should do that again. Thank you. Yeah, another thing I just thought, not only for kids, even for us adults, right? I see it's very important to spread this children, so that, as you said, they grow with this and they carry this forward, and another thing, looking at it from another point of view that helped me from my perspective also is expectation is the root cause for a lot of these, correct? Which position I am, whatever I am, expectation is the root, since I'll even call it the bad advocate that leads to a lot of these things. I try to look at from the perspective of whatever happens for good. And like you said, once we do this physical exercises, our bodies fit, we can sit and meditate and focus our mind and then introspect. Then slowly, little by little, we begin to understand that everything is happening with a purpose and it's in harmony with nature. So we don't want to conflict or revolt against it. And it's wonderful to see that things fall in place very well when we do that. Recently, I've seen some experiences personally, and it was just amazing to me because I never thought of it that way. Even though times we read a lot, it's like a switch, it goes up, there is so much of brightness, it comes down, it's so dark. It takes us some time to realize or register basically in our minds. So this time. So I also like to say that they're trying to set the expectations and basically not expect, but to take whatever comes, saying that's for the best. Like if we can in our mind to that, then I think there'll be a lot of harmony, goodwill in society.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Else have any other questions? If not, we will. Oh, Pargavalamudan.
That'd be nice and continue to be in a Satsanga every week.
Sir? So, no other questions, we can conclude the session. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Or
Wow.